Imagine a forest where getting lost isn't the only problem. But the hunters lurking there don't see you as a human, they see you as their prey. And the scariest part is that you don't even realize that you're the next target. In the desolate and dense forests of Norway, a girl was running with all her strength to save her life. There was such terror on her face, as if something was chasing her that was almost impossible to escape from. While running, her foot suddenly got caught in a trap hidden in the ground, and she fell hard. As she tried to get up, her eyes fell on a tree ahead, where a man was tied up with ropes. The man was in extremely bad condition. The moment the girl saw him, she became even more frightened. But before she could understand anything, the story shifts to another place. Sometime later, a car was speeding along a road in the same forest. There were 4 friends inside: Camila, her brother George, Camila's boyfriend Roger, and Roger's sister Mia. The 4 of them had set out on a trip, and the mood was completely lighthearted. They had no idea that within a short while, this very journey would turn into a fight for life and death. After driving quite a distance, Camila suddenly felt the need to use the bathroom. So they stopped the car at the edge of the forest. Camila walked a little way between the trees, but as soon as she got there, she began hearing strange sounds from around her. The forest was completely quiet, yet it felt as though someone was secretly watching her every move. As her fear grew, Camila ran back toward the car without wasting any time and told her friends to leave. A little later, they stopped at a deserted gas station. Camila and Mia went to the bathroom there. The sight of the inside made both of them feel disgusted, because the place was extremely dirty and messy. Just then, they noticed a man sitting in one corner of the bathroom. Camila went closer to see if he was okay, but suddenly the man lunged at her. Camila panicked, but Mia did not back down. She loudly scolded the man and drove him away from there. Later, they found out that he was completely drunk. The incident was certainly strange, but the friends did not pay much attention to it and went to eat at the gas station's restaurant. The restaurant was quite crowded. As Camila was passing through, a man in the crowd grabbed her hand. He gestured that something belonging to Camila had fallen on the ground. Seeing this from a distance, Roger misunderstood the situation and immediately lost his temper. He went over to the man, and an argument broke out between them. Things escalated so much that it nearly turned into a physical fight. The woman running the restaurant intervened in time and separated the two. Once the situation calmed down, the 4 friends returned to their table. But there was something else in that same restaurant that was hard to ignore. A girl was sitting quietly off to one side. She looked terribly frightened. It was obvious from her face that she had escaped from something horrifying. Suddenly, in her panic, the cup slipped from her hand and fell to the floor. At the sound, almost everyone sitting there looked at her, but after a while, everyone left her alone and resumed their own conversations. Meanwhile, Camila and George began teasing Roger about the fight that had happened a little earlier. Their comments put Roger in a bad mood, and he angrily walked outside. Camila followed him. She tried to calm things down and explained to Roger that he meant a lot to her. Gradually, Roger's anger subsided, and the two came back inside. After having their food packed, the 4 began preparing to leave. Just then, the frightened girl suddenly got up from her seat and approached Roger. From her condition, it seemed that she wanted to get out of that place at any cost. She begged them to take her with them. The other 3 were against it. They did not think it was right at all to let an unknown girl into their car in the middle of the forest. But seeing her condition, Roger refused to change his decision. He believed that if the girl was this frightened, there had to be a serious reason, and it would be wrong to leave her alone at such a time. Eventually, they came outside to take the girl with them. But the moment the girl saw a large vehicle parked outside, her face suddenly turned pale. She panicked, ran over, and hid inside Roger's car. Now the friends were convinced that this was not an ordinary situation. On the way, Mia asked her where she needed to go. But after hearing the girl's answer, they all looked at one another. She herself did not know where she was supposed to go. She kept looking around anxiously and was getting frightened even by small things. As the car moved farther ahead, the girl looked behind them. The same large vehicle that had frightened her earlier now appeared to be following them from a distance. The girl's condition worsened. She immediately told them to stop the car. Her body was trembling, and she said that she was feeling sick. Roger pulled the car over to the side of the road. The girl got out and went some distance away, where she began vomiting. Meanwhile, an argument broke out between Camila and Roger inside the car. Camila felt that Roger had made a huge mistake by letting the girl into the car without thinking. She also suspected that Roger might have some bad intentions toward the girl. This deeply upset Roger. In anger, he said things to Camila that broke her heart. Just then, Mia overheard their argument. She came to the car and angrily took out the keys. She told Roger to apologize to Camila first, but Roger remained stubborn. Instead of returning the keys to him, Mia angrily threw them into the bushes. Now Roger had a new problem. He had to go to the edge of the forest himself to look for the keys. When Roger went to search for the keys, Camila and Mia approached the girl. Now they wanted to know directly who she was running from. The girl finally broke down. Through her tears, she revealed that some extremely dangerous people were following her. They had also captured her husband and tied him up somewhere in this very forest. Hearing this, Camila and Mia were stunned. They felt that the girl needed to be taken to the police immediately. But they did not even have time to reach the police. Suddenly, several armed men emerged from the dark part of the forest. They surrounded the group as soon as they arrived. No one got a chance to react. They began forcibly taking control of everyone. The girl took advantage of the chaos and tried to escape. She even managed to get some distance away, but one of the hunters aimed at her and fired. The girl fell right there. After that, the men also captured Mia and attacked her. Within moments, her life was over. Now, the remaining people had no way out either. The armed hunters forcibly took them deep into the forest. Much later, when Camila and the others regained consciousness, they found themselves in a deserted place. Their hands and feet were tightly bound. The people who had captured them were nowhere to be seen nearby. Roger seized the opportunity and used all his strength. After a great deal of effort, he freed the rope around his hands. He did not waste any time and freed the others one by one as well. But before escaping, they noticed a large tree in the forest. A man was tied to it horribly. His body was covered in injuries, and he could barely breathe. From his condition, it was clear that he had been tortured for a long time. As soon as they approached him, they realized that this was not some stranger. He was the husband of the same frightened girl. The girl who had begged them for help earlier had been telling the truth. Her husband really was being held captive in these forests. Just then, a loud and terrifying siren echoed throughout the forest. The sound brought out the last bit of fear hidden inside the injured man. He was in no condition to speak, but his gestures made it clear that staying here now would be like inviting death. He signaled for them to run away from there immediately. Camila and the others helped the injured man and ran into the dark forest, but they still did not know what the siren was signaling and how close the hunters hiding in the forest had come to chasing them. Roger somehow kept moving forward with the injured man, but after a short while, they came across such a ravine that anyone would have stopped in their tracks upon seeing it. The way down was extremely steep and dangerous. Roger decided that if they wanted to escape those hunters, they would have to go down this mountain and reach the highway. But George immediately opposed him. For him, it was impossible to leave the injured man behind in this condition. He clearly said that they would have to take him along, no matter how difficult the path was. Roger did not like what he said at all. He insisted on leaving the injured man there to save his own life. Before long, the argument between the two brothers escalated so much that it was about to turn into a physical fight. Finally, Roger asked Camila to come with him. His intention was to leave the others behind and head straight toward the highway. But Camila looked at him and clearly refused. She could now clearly see Roger's selfishness. Angrily, Roger went down the path alone. But little did he know that the path was not leading him toward freedom, but toward another trouble. After going only a short distance, a man hiding in the darkness suddenly attacked Roger and took him captive. Meanwhile, Camila, George, and the injured man were trapped there. Camila began worrying about Roger. She was afraid that something bad might have happened to him, but George explained to her that Roger had chosen to leave them himself. Now they should focus on saving their own lives. Just then, an armed hunter could be seen approaching them from the middle of the forest. Camila and George immediately helped the injured man and started running away from there. But the hunter chased them and suddenly raised his weapon and struck the injured man so violently that he died right there. Now Camila and George had no reason to stay. Both of them began searching for a safe place to hide inside the forest while trying to save their lives. On the other side, when Roger regained consciousness, he was lying alone on the ground. He could not understand who had brought him here or where the others had gone. He looked around, and when he saw no one, he got up on his own and began moving deeper into the forest. Meanwhile, Camila was still worried about Roger. She kept wondering where he could be. George encouraged her and assured her that as soon as they got the chance, they would try to find Roger. But at that very moment, a hunter returned to the place where the injured man was lying. He picked up the body and began dragging it deeper into the forest. He had no idea that Camila and George were hiding nearby. The hunter spotted the two of them, but surprisingly, he did not try to catch them. He left with the injured man's body, while the two siblings remained hidden there, holding their breath. After some time, Roger reached a place while searching for a way through the forest. Just then, he noticed a dead body lying on the ground. When he went closer, the ground seemed to slip from beneath his feet. The body was that of his sister Mian. The sister he had been seeing beside him only a short while ago was now lying lifeless in front of him. Roger was completely shattered, but he did not even get a chance to grieve. A hunter came from behind and attacked Roger. The very next moment, Roger fell unconscious to the ground again, and the hunter took him away. Meanwhile, Camila and George had also come into a hunter's sight. Both ran in different directions to save their lives and got separated from each other in the process. While running, George's foot became caught in a dangerous trap. He tried his best to free himself, but the trap was so strong that he could not even move. Just then, a hunter appeared in front of him. He pointed his gun directly at George. There seemed to be no way for George to escape. On the other side, Camila kept running. After going some distance, she suddenly spotted Roger. He was tied up in the middle of the forest, and a hunter was keeping watch over him. It was not easy for Camila to leave Roger in this condition. Risking her own life, she moved forward to save him. But the hunter turned out to be even faster than her. He caught Camila and took both of them captive at gunpoint. Now there was only one question before him. Which one should be killed first? Without caring about her own life, Camila told him that if one of them had to be spared, Roger should be allowed to go, and she should be killed. But Roger gave an answer that destroyed the last bit of hope left inside Camila. He said that he should be allowed to die in order to save his own life. At that moment, Camila realized that the person for whom she had endured everything until then did not have even the slightest genuine concern for her. The hunter moved forward to kill Camila, but just then, Camila noticed a small weapon hidden in his clothes. As soon as she got the chance, she pulled out the weapon and attacked the hunter with all her strength. He fell to the ground, but a few moments later he got back up. Camila did not lose courage. She attacked a second time, and this time the hunter collapsed right there. But the danger was not over yet. Another hunter was approaching them from a distance. He had a gun in his hand and was quickly getting closer to them. Camila tried to free Roger, but time was against her. She looked at Roger one last time. There was no point in saving the man who had said he would let her die to save his own life. Camila left him there and ran away. A few seconds later, the hunter arrived there and killed Roger. Now he set off into the forest in search of Camila. While running, Camila reached a strange-looking tent. After going inside, she realized that she had not reached an ordinary camp, but the very hideout of those hunters. Seeing the things lying there, she was horrified. From some of the supplies and utensils, she realized that these people did not just hunt humans, but used them as their prey. Camila immediately hid inside a tent. There was already a corpse inside. Suppressing her panic, she lay down beside it. Just then, she noticed a shotgun nearby. She picked it up and waited in complete silence. A short while later, the hunter who was chasing her arrived there. As soon as he tried to enter the tent, Camila fired without wasting any time. The hunter fell right there. Hearing the gunshot, his other companion also came running there. Seeing his companion dead in front of him, he immediately understood that an enemy was hiding nearby. He moved toward the tent. Camila came out with the gun and started shooting at him, but luck was not on her side. The gun had run out of bullets. The hunter lunged forward, snatched the weapon, and began attacking Camila. He kept striking her repeatedly, but Camila did not give up. Then she noticed a sharp object lying nearby. She picked it up and suddenly attacked the hunter with all her strength. The hunter staggered and fell to the ground. Camila did not waste even a moment and ran away from there. While running, she suddenly saw George. Her brother was tightly bound with thick wires. Camila ran to him and began freeing him. She wanted to cut those wires as quickly as possible, but she had no idea that the hunters had already prepared one final trap for her. The same hunter who was lying injured nearby suddenly began moving again. Camila immediately picked up an arrow and fired it at him. As soon as the arrow struck, he was badly wounded and fell to the ground. Camila thought the danger was over, but as soon as she approached him, the hunter suddenly attacked. Camila pushed the arrow lodged in his body even deeper with all her strength. This time he was silent forever. Now Camila quickly returned to George and began cutting the wires binding him. Finally, George was free. But the very next moment a terrifying sound rang out. A heavy axe came slicing through the air toward them at great speed and struck George directly. George fell right there. Before Camila's eyes, her brother had died. Then she realized that this was no ordinary attack. The place where George had been tied was already part of a dangerous trap. As soon as he was freed, the axe attached to the tree swung rapidly and struck George directly. Camila could not save her brother. After losing her friends and family one after another, she was now completely alone. But perhaps the last hope of staying alive still remained. Camila suppressed her fear and ran to escape the forest. After running for a long time, she finally saw a road in the distance. She had reached the highway. A short while later, she saw a car approaching from ahead. Camila reached the middle of the road and tried to stop it by waving her hand. The car stopped beside her. Camila somehow got inside it and finally managed to escape that terrifying forest. But during this journey, she had lost her friends, her brother, and the person she had once trusted the most right before her eyes. And the forest she had entered just for a short trip had become the most terrifying experience of her entire life. If you liked this terrifying survival story, be sure to like the video. To hear the stories of similarly mysterious and scary movies in simple language, subscribe to the channel. And tell us in the comments, if you were in Camila's place, would you have been able to make it out of that forest alive?